Do you want to know how to sell effectively to an internet inbound lead? Do you want to know how to sell that one person that never wanted you to call to begin with? That one person that said that, oh no, I shouldn't have never hit submit because now everyone's calling me? Do you want to know how to get through to that one person that said, I made a mistake, please take me off your list? Do you want to know how to get to them, how to get through to that internet inquiry? Well, I'm going to share with you how in this episode. We're going to talk about internet leads. We're going to talk about lending tree leads. We're going to talk about how each lead and each source is different. And without understanding these important components, a lot of times I see too many loan officers simply go down the wrong path. They go down the wrong road. They get frustrated. They start thinking that other people are getting better leads. They start believing that they weren't cut out to be a loan officer. They start worrying and start considering if it's greener on the other side. And the next thing you know, the longest time they've held a job was 3 months. Right when that guarantee went out, so did they. Do you want to know how to avoid that? You want to know how to really stick with solid grassroots and build the foundation of where you're from? Well, then you're going to want to follow me. So check this out. First off, welcome to Sales Remastered. My name is Daniel. I'm your host, and in this episode, I'm going to help you get through to one of pretty much the only real delivered lead that we have to rely on today. And this episode is super important because as we find ourselves right now walking into a Monday, I think it's March 12th, 2018, and you know, one of the main things as a mortgage loan officer, most in particularly, is that when we get a connection or when we get an internet lead, we want it just to go. You know what I mean? Like, we got already 900 things that we carry on our plate. We have 900 appointments in our calendar. We got 900 callback that we got to do. We got to do the callbacks, the follow-ups, the voice messages, the letdowns, the divorces, the you've been pre-approved, have you found a house yet calls. And so believe me, because I'm in the trenches too, I'm running right there with you. I'm not anything special, right? I'm not any league above you. We both need to hustle. We both eat. We both bleed. And we both got our own responsibilities to take care of. All I'm trying to do is get our mindset synced so that you can see the greener side. You don't need to go chase the greener side. Get it? So what I want to do is I want to share with you why it's important to understand how an internet lead operates, because I've been getting a lot of inquiries lately like, hey man, thank you very much for doing the cold call week. If you haven't seen the cold call week, man, you're missing out. For 5 straight days, I went over how to effectively cold call. For another 5 other days, I did how to effectively do an outbound sale. For another 5 extra days, I did one all about inbound sales. And so if you haven't checked out those series, I invite you to go to YouTube, look at the playlist tab on YouTube where it says video series. If you click open video series at the, from the very top, it has the very beginning, right? I made that series like a year ago. It was right when I was a beginner. And so it's evolved, and I've come up with different topics, and I have different series. Some of them are 5 videos, some of them are even 8 videos. But I invite you to check it out because it's important to understand how each and every single one was different, right? Even though we are in sales, there's just so many different facets. There's so many different moving parts. And without understanding some of the most important moving parts, you're not going to be able to get to see the other parts move. And so in this episode, what I want to do is I want to share with you why exactly it is important to understand that nonetheless, regardless of who you're talking to, regardless of who you're getting objections by or who you're going to face, you have the option to convert them into a sale. In the very least, you can convert them into a prospect lead. A prospect lead does not necessarily mean they're going to buy or they're going to qualify or they're going to say yes right away. What we as salesmen need to understand is that a prospect lead just becomes a contact. And that contact is something that we farm inside our potential book of business. This is typically called a CRM. And so sometimes we believe, especially the new age, we may come in and say, well, CRM is just a computer software system. Well, actually it is, but it goes beyond that. It actually farms your leads. And why I say farm is because you want to think harvesting, right? You want to think like, okay, if I'm going to farm these leads, what I need to do is I just need to plant seeds, right? Plant seeds are like, hey, we're in town, we're the number one this, you know, we do this well, and I'm gonna go ahead and give you a honest analysis, and it doesn't look like you can do anything in the next 6 months. Well, during that next 6 months, I'm going to farm that lead, and so I'm going to stay in front of them. I'm going to email them. I'm going to check in from time to time with some great insider info, some good insight. Maybe I don't have time to call, but I'm going to put at least an email campaign where maybe every other month, right, in the interim, there's a fun fact email of 5 ways to clean your bathroom or your kitchen, or 3 ways to boost your FICO score, or something random, right, that they could find useful and will keep you inside their mind. And so why I share this with you is because a lot of the internet leads that we're going to come across clearly are not always going to qualify. They're not always going to be as realistic as we would like them. As a matter of fact, a lot of the internet leads are really responding back to the absolute lowest interest rate available in the market. Why? Is because they were online when they found the fucking lead to begin with. When they found that apply for this. You think they applied for the fucking standard pricing? You think they applied for par? with their 580 FICO and shit, and they clear, you know what I mean? Like, it says like some applicants do not qualify, but they thought they did, right? Even though they're currently behind on their fucking car payment. Anyway, you know what I'm talking about, is because these are the leads that we're coming across against. Now, we may get upset because we are emotionally tied to flipping that lead immediately. This is how we're trained by our sales trainer. This is how we're expected to be from our sales manager, right? And this is how we believe that the top producers convert. We believe that if you're a strong closer, you're going to close anything that you talk to. No, they don't. No, they don't. The reason why they're strong closers is because they just simply focus their time on where they get the most ROI, the most return on investment. And so if most ROI is really outbound, you're going to find a lot of those top producers doing outbounds. They're not fucking with the dialer. But anyway, I don't want to shut that out, because I know some of us on here maybe have no choice but to stick to a dialer. You know, maybe you really do rely on inbound internet inquiries. And if you do, then this is going to help you. So rule number 1 is understand that not all leads are going to flip, right? And so you need a solid CRM, or you need some sort of solid time management system. And you don't necessarily need a CRM. You can use iCalendar, you can use Outlook, right? And what it does is it basically reminds you, or maybe presets an appointment to send a quick email, right? And so maybe you just drip out an email, but either way, you got to stay in front of them and expect that not every single lead may turn, but that's okay. All you want to do is make the connection anyway, and you want to make the experience within that connection memorable. But here's the thing, is that you're going to meet a challenge. Those prospects never wanted to talk to you to begin with. They didn't think that you were going to get their phone number. They didn't think that you plus 9 others were going to call them. And so there's a specific way to treat them. There is a specific way to handle that. And depending how strong your company is, or how much they pay for the lead, you might not necessarily be the very first contact that lead makes, right? You might be number 9. You might be that dude, right? Like, oh, well, hey, Daniel, you know what? I already spoke to 8 fucking different companies. Doesn't look like any of them can help me. Or I already spoke to 9 people. You guys keep calling me. So you're getting the brunt end of the stick. You are getting the absolute worst. So how do you handle that? Here's a side note. Here's how to handle it. If you're the last one to make connection with that internet lead, here's exactly how you handle it. You say, hey, Jim, my name is Daniel. You know, I know that you did an inquiry the other day. I know you probably already got contacted by so many different companies. The reason why we let time pass after the inquiry is because we want you to see how others are able to do it, and then we want to show you how we do it, and show you why most homeowners in your county prefer to do business with us. You see, as a consumer, you have the absolute right to make sure of what your options are, but also as a consumer, I want to protect you from what just a marketing ad can do versus what you're actually qualified for. And so in our conversation, I'm actually going to show you a custom fit option. It's not going to be best case scenario. My numbers are not going to change, right? It's going to be based on exactly what you're looking to do. And the only way I can help you is if I can provide benefit. is that if I can improve your term. Not only that, but the only way that I can even begin this process, which I'm sure a lot of companies ask you to begin the process. Well, the only way that I can begin the process is if there is a process to begin. Let me explain. The only way that I can help you is if I know that I can create a bridge for you to get to from where you are now to where you want to go. So that's what I'm going to talk to you about today. Before I even go any further, I'm just going to make sure that we can even make this bridge. So I understand that you spoke with a lot of other companies. Regardless of what they say, I don't care what pricing they gave you. I'm going to show you exactly what I can do. And this is one of the reasons why most homeowners choose to go with us, is because when you put us side by side, or when you listen to exactly how we operate, you're going to find ease, you're going to find comfort, convenience. More importantly, you're going to find transparency that's most appreciated with anyone dealing with such a high debt like their mortgage. See, that's how you convert it, right? So in other words, you give them an impression that, oh yeah, well, we want you to get a chance to speak with the other, other companies. Otherwise, our information that we give to you, it being live, it being according to today, we don't want you to hold on to it for a couple of days because you're not yet done shopping. The reason why we're contacting you now is because we wanted you to go ahead and get that out of the way. Now let me show you why we're the preferred lender. Let me show you why we work with most homeowners in your community. Let me show you why your neighborhood prefers us. Let me show you why, right? And so now let me show you. And so that is powerful to bring them back, and you got to understand that there's just a different way to communicate with different lead types. Like Lending Tree is a different lead type than, bank rate, right? They're different inquiries. And when we understand the POVs, which I'm going to cover in the next video after this, after I get geared up and dressed up, we're going to talk about furthermore into leads, and I'm going to drop some information on Lending Tree leads. So if you haven't subscribed, please hit the subscribe button right now. Hit the bell so that when I upload that video, at least you get notified. Go check out the other channels. Check out the playlist below. I'll leave a link below the notes, and also leave a link below to all the other channels that Sales Remastered is on. If any of those channels you happen to be on, like Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, LinkedIn, if you're anywhere on there, then please visit me. Visit my channel, add me to your feed, and see the content that I have there. And I hope that it gives you that hustle nutrition that you need. So I appreciate your patience, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.